Proportions. So proportion is a statement of equality between two ratios or rates. If using a ratio, a pair of equivalent rates will involve four quantities. When solving an unknown quantity, 3 out of these 4 quantities are given, and we use the basic principle of equivalent fractions to find the unknown quantity. This method can be used with direct proportion and indirect proportion, where two quantities vary, such as one quantity increases or decreases, the other quantity increases or decreases. So example of direct proportion. A car consumes 30 liters in traveling a distance of 400 kilometers. Calculate the distance covered in consuming 1 liter of fuel. Let X represent the unknown distance. So you have 400 kilometers over X kilometers will give you 30 liters over 1 liter. So you have, this is where you have cross multiplication. So you will have 30 multiplied by X will give you 400 multiplied by 1. And then now X will be 400 divided by 30, and X will give you 13.3 centimeters. When you're using rates, you have 400 kilometers over 30 liters is equal to X kilometers over 1 liter. Here you have, again, cross multiplication. X multiplied by 30 is equal to 400 multiplied by 1. But here you're making X the subject of the formula. So it will be 400 multiplied by 1 divided by 30 or over 30. So you get X is equal to 13.3 kilometers. Do you have any questions?
No. So you get the same answer using the ratio and the rates.
Because you have two different methods of solving it. It's all about which is the easiest for you to master.
So you're cross multiplying in the beginning.
Now here is where cross multiply, and you solve it first. So here you'll get 30x or 30 multiplied by x, and here you'll get 400. And then to find x now, you will just have to divide 30 multiplied by x divided by x by 30. And on this side, whatever you do on the left-hand side of the equation, you do on the right-hand side of the equal sign. So it will be 400 divided by 30. This is the same thing. This is just transposing. It's basically the same thing. It's x multiplied by 30 divided by 30. So you'll get x, and 400 multiplied by 1 divided by 30. And that's how you remain with this. So you get the same answer.
Okay, no problem.
Now, in this example, if 2 liters of petrol cost $5.40, calculate the cost of 5 liters of petrol. So you have the unitary method when it comes to rates. 2 liters is equal to $5.40. So we want to find how much is 1 liter. We're going to divide that $5.40 by 2 to get $2.70 for 1 liter. So now that we know 1 liter is equal to $2.70, we want to know how much is the cost of 5 liters. So you're going to multiply that 5 by the 270. Sorry, I think I read the wrong thing here.
I'm trying to zoom in here, but I don't know. All right, I now get to the zoom. Right, for me now.
Right. So here I have 5 multiplied by 270, and you will get 1350 for 5 liters. And this is using one method. The other method is with proportions. And this here one is where cross multiply. So I have 2 liters over 5 things. So you want to get things. So you divide 2 liters by 540 and get 5 liters over X, because you want to find out how much 5 liters cost. You cross multiply. You get 2 liters multiplied by X is equal to 5 liters multiplied by 540. And then when you want to find the value of X, you just simply divide by 2 on both sides. So it will be 2 multiplied by X divided by 2 and 5 multiplied by 540 divided by 2. And you remain with X is equal to 5 multiplied by 540, 5.4 by 2. And you get X is equal to 13.50. Any questions?
You cross multiply, and 5 multiplied by 540, right? Over 2, okay. Yeah, because 2 multiplied by X is like 2 multiplied by 1, right?
No, X is the unknown value. So 2 multiplied by X is 2 multiplied by X. You're trying to find X.
All right.
X
So
is
when you
hard.
work out 5 multiplied by 540, that answer divide by 2, give you the 1350. Okay.
Now, in this example, we have 3 liters of paint cover 20 meters squared. How many liters of paint will cover 160 meters squared? So the unitary method, 20 meters squared is equal to 3 liters of paint. So we want to find for 1 meter squared, which is 3 over 20, which will that is supposed to be, hold on now.
You're doing any class for the weekend? The Friday, the Saturday, or the Sunday?
We will have to do that because we miss Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
We will have to do it. Don't worry, I'm with you. I'm not gonna leave you a thing. We have time is counting down on us, and I understand that the mills kicking in. So if we have to do more time and we have to go through the weekends and everything, it's just a sacrifice for this month. It's not like it's a permanent thing, you know? So I could sacrifice my weekends. Right? Just now, I'm pulling up the example. I know I messed up. Right. So 1 meter squared is equal to 3 liters over 20 because every 20 meters is equal to 3 liters. So you want to find out for 160 meters squared. So it's going to be 163 over 20 multiplied by 160 will give you how much liters will be able to paint 160 meters squared. So it's going to be 24 liters. You have any questions concerning this?
The squares on top. When you mean squares, the two.
Well, this is pertaining into area. So the meter squared is the unit for area.
Right. Area. Okay, and I remember.
Right. So this is using the weights method or the unitary method. When you use a proportion, you have X liters is equal to 160 meters squared. So you have the same 3 liters over 20 meters squared is equal to X liters over 160 meters squared. You're going to cross multiply now. So you have X liters multiplied by 20 meters squared or X by 20. And you have 3 liters multiplied by 160. It comes back to the same thing. X now, you just make X the subject of the formula. So what I'll do here actually, what I'll do here is I'll show you. They have 20 times X over 20 is equal to 3 times 160 over 20, right? All right. So what happens at this stage, and you don't need to write down the stage. This is just for me to explain so you can understand it better. When you divide both sides of the equal sign by the 20, this 20 divided by 20 will be canceled out. X cannot be divided by 20, so X becomes the subject of the formula, right? And this will be the equation that you'll solve. So X is equal to 3 multiplied by 160 over 20, which will give you 24 liters. right? Understand? Have any questions?
Not right now.
All right. Now we come to currency conversion. To convert currency, you can either use the unitary method or the proportions method, which is also known as cross multiplication. So here are some more examples we're going to go through. They say water is leaking from a tank at a constant rate of 4 liters per minute. How long will it take to lose 32 liters of water? So the rate is equal to 4 liters per minute. We want to find out the time to lose 4 liters, or how much liters we will lose in a minute, right? So, no, yeah. How much time it will take to lose 1 liter? So the time to lose 4 liters is 1 minute. The time to lose 1 liter is equal to 1/4 minute, a quarter of a minute. So the time to lose 32 liters will give you a quarter multiplied by 32, which is equal to 8 minutes. So when 4 liters per minute, 1 liter is leaking out every quarter of a minute. And if we want to count how much minutes it will take for 32 liters to leak out, we have to multiply that quarter by 32, which will give us 8. Now, you get your calculator already?
Nope. I ain't get to reach Pinal. The lady going out today. And I'm supposed to go to Pinal to do my business. And she come exactly time for me to leave. So tomorrow, taking my time off to go and get it done. I just going to do my work and leave.
All right. So, with that,
I have the calculator in the phone where you make my install, though.
huh?
I have the calculator where you make my install.
No, that's okay. When I will change the Zoom, we'll log in and log back on afterwards. And I will show you how to, actually, no, we don't need to do that. What I will do is that I will screen record on the calculator on my tablet where I have the app, and I will show you how to do the calculations on the calculator. So you don't need to do any additional work outside of the calculator because you want to be able to save time during the exam. Right? So I will also upload that to the YouTube on the playlist that you have access to.
Okay.
If you could just do me a favor now, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the videos, as well as like and follow my Facebook page and share it. That will help me greatly in terms of getting.
You send it to me? You send the link?
Yeah, I had sent the link for. I'll send, don't worry, I'll send over the link.
The only two you send is the first the YouTube lesson where you do it, man. And then you send
no, I haven't uploaded the videos from the last class as yet. I'll do that tonight. When we are on a break, I will do that. All right, so let's look at the second example. Jerry and Kerry are running at a 60 kilometers marathon. Jerry runs at 24 kilometers per hour, while Kerry at 20 kilometers per hour. How long will it take Jerry to finish the race? When Jerry finishes the race, how much further does Kerry have to run to reach the finish line? So first step. Distance to run is 60 kilometers. Jerry's speed is 24 kilometers per hour. So to find the time to finish, we have to divide the distance by the speed to give us time. So that will be 60 over 24, which will give us 2.5 hours. So Jerry will take 2.5 hours to finish the race in total. But the second question wants to know, after Jerry finished the race, how much further does Kerry have to run to finish the race time? Because he's running 4 kilometers less than Kerry in 1 hour. So the distance to run is equal to speed multiplied by time. Distance Kerry can run is 20 multiplied by 2.5 because Jerry will finish the race in 2.5 hours. So when Jerry finished the race in 2.5 hours, Kerry now reached 50 kilometers. To find out the amount of time, the distance that Kerry have to reach after Jerry reaching 2 hours, he at 50 kilometers, so we need to subtract the 50 from the 60, we'll get 10 kilometers. So Kerry has to run 10 kilometers to finish the race or the marathon after Jerry finished running the marathon. Have any questions?
60 minus 50.
Yeah. You seeing it clear? You seeing the notes and everything clearly?
Yeah.
All right. So let me move on to this next one. Overtime. When employees work beyond their normal schedule of hours than is expected, they are paid extra money for doing so. Overtime pay is usually a higher rate than the basic rate. So here are some definitions. We have overtime wages is equal to the total wages earned for working extra time. Overtime rate is the rate of pay for the overtime. Rate. And the basic rate is the normal wages earned without overtime. So we have some formulas here. Basic week is equal to number of hours worked times hourly rate of pay. Hourly rate of pay is equal to basic week over number of hours worked, or basic week divided by number of hours worked. You have overtime wages is equal to overtime rate multiplied by basic hourly rate. You also have gross wage is equal to basic wage plus overtime wages. Right? Now here's an example with this. Pay attention to this, right? Don't write anything, just pay attention. A company pays a basic wage of $900 for a 40-hour week. Overtime is paid at a time and a half. Calculate the basic hourly rate and the overtime rate. An employee worked 20 hours overtime in a certain week. Calculate the employee's overtime earnings for the week, the employee's total earnings for the week. And then they have say another employee earned $1,305 in a particular week. How many hours of overtime did she work? So we started with A. The basic hourly rate, the formula for that is basic week divided by number of hours worked. So the basic hour thing, basic 40-hour week, the basic hourly rate would be $900. We get this $900 from here, divided by 40, which is the number of hours worked, and this is for basic week. So the hourly rate is $22.50, right? The hourly rate is $22.50. That too bright or you see fairly?
Too bright.
Better?
Worse. And it's in yellow.
Right.
Right. Leave it black and white like that. I've seen it.
Right. So now we did one by calculating the basic hourly rate. They say overtime is paid at time and a half. So they want to find the overtime rate. So the overtime hourly rate, the formula for that is basic hourly rate multiplied by overtime rate. So the basic hourly rate is $22.50 and time and a half is 1.5. So that would be $22.50 multiplied by 1.5, which will give you $33.75 for the overtime rate per hour. So the basic
time and a half, 1.5. That what? 1 hour and a half?
Yes, 1.5 hours.
Okay.
Remember, overtime is calculated at time and a half, time and a quarter, and double time.
Yeah.
Right? So you simply convert that into decimals. At time and a half is 1.5 hours. So that converted to decimal is 1.5. Time and a quarter is 1.25 hours. Converted to decimal will be 1.25, and double time will just be 2. Right?
Okay.
So now we're going on to B. They say an employee worked 20 hours overtime in a certain week. Calculate the employee's overtime earnings for the week. So we know the overtime hourly rate is $53.75. So the total overtime earnings would be the overtime hourly rate multiplied by hours worked overtime. So the total overtime earnings will be $33.75 multiplied by the 20 hours that she worked overtime, which will give us $675. The second thing they ask her to do, so this $675 here answers the first one, which is the overtime earnings for the week. The second thing they ask her to do is for the total earnings of the week. The total earnings for the week is the basic weekly wage, which is the $900 plus
Adding the overtime.
Earnings. So the total earnings for the week will be 900 plus 675. So she will earn $1,575 for the week. Right?
Yeah.
Then I have another employee earned $1,305 in a particular week. How many hours of overtime did she work? So total earnings of the worker is $1,305. The total overtime earnings will be total earnings minus basic weekly wage, because we want to find out the amount of overtime she worked. So the total overtime earnings will be $1,305 minus 900, which will give you 405. Now that we know the number, the amount of money she made for overtime, we can say total overtime earnings divided by overtime hourly rate, which is $33.75, will give us the number of overtime hours. So that's 405 divided by 33.75. So she works overtime for 12 hours. Any questions?
Number of overtime hours worked 405 divided by the overtime earning. Okay.
Right. I'm gonna stop here.